Ilan Pappe is an Israeli historian and the chair of the Nakba Memorial Foundation. He joins us from Exeter in the UK. Ilan, thank you so much for your time with Al Jazeera. When you look at where we were 78 years ago and where we are now, what has been the most consequential impact of the Nakba on where Palestinians find themselves today?
Well, I think there is a Palestinian concept which is called the ongoing Nakba, or in Arabic, al-Nakba al-Mustamira. And I think the events in Gaza in the last 2.5 years and what goes on now in the West Bank are a very bitter reminder for the meaning of that idea that although the Nakba is an event that happened during 9 months in 1948, it was incomplete. And the same kind of suffering that the Palestinians have experienced in 1948 is continuing after 1948 until today. The same ideology that informed the ethnic cleansing of 1948 is the same ideology that informs the genocide of Gaza, the current ethnic cleansing that you have just described in refugee camps in the West Bank. So the Israeli intent and strategy is there. The Palestinian attempt to be resilient and resist is there. And the international basic indifference is still there as well.
Ilan, you talk about that ideology still existing, particularly on one side, the Israeli side, I would presume. And so where, therefore, do Palestinians who live in the occupied West Bank, who live in Gaza, where do they look for a sense of self or a sense of autonomy for the future?
Well, I think, first of all, they are busily preoccupied with survival before strategizing about the future, because they are daily facing existential danger. The Palestinian political movement right now is in disarray, disunited, fragmented. I don't think that the people in Gaza or the people in the West Bank, for that matter, or the people who dwell in refugee camps around Palestine, have really now a proper address to that could lead them towards the future. So I think what they are doing is really taking their own destiny and fate into their own hands. There is a younger Palestinian generation that I hope one day will reorganize the Palestinian national movement and present a more unified position. But right now, I think it's really the incredible resilience of the people themselves from one day to the other, rather than, I think, really building any clear program for the future until that kind of reorganization that I was talking about in the national movement will take place. And I'm quite confident it will, because I think the younger generation is very assertive, very educated, and quite aware of the need to orientate more clearly the Palestinian national movement in the future.
When we talk about the younger generation, there's something else that has changed over these years, and that is that now the settler attacks, the demolitions, airstrikes in Gaza are all documented in a way that we have never seen before, through streaming services, on internet platforms. How significant has that been in terms of sharing an accurate reflection of what the life is like for people in those areas to the rest of the world? And does that actually make a difference to where things go from here?
Yes, I think it's a very good point. I think although there were journalists in 1948 during the Nakba on the ground, this is not comparable to the kind of knowledge that people can have and access that they have to knowledge of what goes on the ground in the occupied West Bank and in the Gaza Strip. Yes, I do think it has an impact like never before. And what it really impacts, or what it influences more than anything else, is the making of a huge and popular and global solidarity movement with the Palestinians on a magnitude that wasn't there in 1948 or even in the 1970s, when liberation movements in the Third World were supporting the Palestinian Liberation Organization. I think the civil society benefits from this kind of information in order to struggle and challenge and disrupt, I would say, even the narrative that is still provided by some mainstream media outlets in the West, and definitely by the politicians. There is a huge gap between what people all over the world know of what's happening to the Palestinians, and the way that the situation is described by mainstream media and mainstream politics in the West. So I think this is a crucial moment in history. The question is, will this civil society energy and knowledge be translated into a powerful impact on the political
I'm so sorry. We have to
Yeah.
end it there. Thank you so
That's
much
okay.
for your time.
Yeah.
Ilan Pappe, Israeli historian, joining us there.